Your brain doesn't become quiet just because your body stops moving. You can be lying down, doing nothing, looking at nothing, and still feel mentally crowded. Thoughts continue forming, fragments of conversations, unfinished tasks, unresolved possibilities. The brain fills empty space because empty space feels uncertain. Your mind is designed to predict and prepare. When there is no immediate input, it generates its own, not to disturb you, but to maintain orientation. Stillness removes distractions, and without distractions, the brain turns inward. Activity doesn't require action. It only requires awareness. Much of this activity comes from unresolved loops. Anything unfinished remains active in the background. A decision you haven't made, a message you haven't answered, a direction you haven't chosen. The brain holds these open as pending. This increases cognitive load. Cognitive load is the amount of mental energy used to track and manage information, and the brain prefers closure, not openness. An open loop keeps consuming energy until the brain can resolve it. Even if you're not consciously thinking about it, the brain continues tracking it. Not constantly, but persistently. Rest doesn't erase unfinished things. It simply makes them easier to hear. Uncertainty amplifies mental activity. When the brain cannot predict an outcome, it increases internal simulation. It imagines scenarios, tests possible futures, prepares emotional responses in advance. This is not overthinking in the usual sense. It is prediction trying to complete itself. The brain stays busy when it cannot confirm what comes next. Certainty allows the nervous system to settle. Uncertainty keeps it alert. Because uncertainty, from an evolutionary perspective, could signal risk. So the mind keeps working. Not because something is wrong, but because something is unresolved. Dopamine also plays a role in mental restlessness. Dopamine is not only about reward. It regulates anticipation and attention. When stimulation drops, suddenly, dopamine levels shift. The brain begins searching for something to engage with. Not necessarily something important, just something predictable. The brain would rather engage with internal noise than sit in complete unpredictability. This is why silence can feel uncomfortable. The mind tries to generate movement when none exists externally, not to overwhelm you, but to maintain continuity. A completely inactive brain would lose its ability to respond quickly, so it stays gently active, even in stillness. This constant activity is not a flaw. It is the result of a system built to anticipate, track, and protect. Your brain does not measure effort the same way your body does. The body rests through stillness. The brain rests through resolution. The mind becomes quiet not when nothing is happening, but when nothing feels unresolved. Mental noise often reflects incomplete prediction, unfinished loops, or undefined outcomes. Not weakness, not failure, just ongoing processing. When you understand this, the activity feels less personal. The noise is not you. It is simply your brain continuing its work. And sometimes, the mind stays busy not because you are doing too much, but because it is trying to understand what hasn't fully settled yet.